That's right, Marnie. The leaders of the G7 expected to make that announcement official tomorrow, as the British Prime Minister himself says the UK will give 100 million vaccine doses to the world supply. But President Biden says it will be the U.S. leading the recovery and this global vaccination effort, the country that has had more COVID deaths than any other. President Biden in England announcing the U.S. is making the largest single purchase of vaccines by any country ever, not for Americans, but for the poorest nations of the world.
This is a monumental commitment by the American people.
The U.S. buying 500 million doses of Pfizer,
with no strings attached.
Comparing the effort to America's help in World War II, even though it falls short of the 11 billion doses the World Health Organization estimates are needed.
We need to attack this virus globally as well.
This after the president and first lady overlooked Carbis Bay near St. Ives with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his wife of 2 weeks, Carrie. The two leaders later meeting one-on-one.
Fantastic to see you.
I've been to my great country many times, but this is the first time as President of the United States.
The president and prime minister updating the Atlantic Charter established by Winston Churchill and FDR, committing to tackle emerging world issues together, like cybersecurity, climate change, the withdrawal of troops in Afghanistan, and pandemic recovery. The Biden administration facing criticism for not sending shots overseas sooner, as COVID is still ravaging parts of the world.
Should the U.S. have done something like this sooner, and is it enough?
With the recent deadly outbreak in India, only about 3% of the population in India is vaccinated. That number in Africa even lower, with less than 2% of the population vaccinated. The U.S. is now sharing 80 million doses globally by the end of June. And as of today's announcement, supercharging its shipments of vaccine supply with 200 million more doses sent out this year and 300 million in the first half of next year. It's unknown how much money the U.S. is spending to buy the vaccines. And as the president pointed out today, this is also in the interest of the U.S. as new variants spread, specifically that Delta variant. Marnie?
And Allison, the First Lady wore a jacket today with the word love on the back of it. This is not the first time we've seen a First Lady wearing a jacket with a message.
No, it's not. I think that many Americans will remember former First Lady Melania Trump wore a jacket with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" on the back of it to a trip to visit immigrant children at a border detention center. Melania Trump later said that that was directed at the media and people who criticize her. Today, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden wore a jacket with the word love on the back of it. First ladies have long used fashion to make statements. This message from Dr. Jill Biden is simple. She told reporters today that she wanted to spread a message of love, hope, and unity, especially after the year that we have all just had. Marnie?
Allison, live for us in Washington, D.C. tonight. Allison, thank you.